I think, something that you're talking about here is, and we've seen it a lot just because we recommend protein a lot to people. People end up with like protein displacement because they eat other foods instead of, and people are snacking throughout the day. And I remember it wasn't too long ago that I heard a stat that people were eating, I think like 12 times a day or something like that. And then I heard something even more recently where they said that people are consuming calories up to like 20 times a day. Right. And then so now we have, a lot of information coming out about like fasting and intermittent fasting, and these things probably really, when you're fasting for 6 or 8 hours, they probably shouldn't even really be referred to as fasting. But in modern times, because we're eating so much and consuming calories so often, it feels like death. Yeah. Death is on your doorstep if you're not used to fasting for just even like a handful of hours. Where do you think some people should just start? Like, let's say somebody just kind of has a shit diet. Do you think there's a reason just to go like carnivore all the way, or does it make more sense to baby step into this thing and maybe just try to eat some natural foods?
Yeah, well, I think that's a big first step, is just eating whole foods, natural foods. I don't like to be dogmatic, say this is the only way of doing it. This is the way I do it because I feel the best on it. And when other little things slip in, like seasonings or something would mix in with a meal at a restaurant or something,
and you just cry.
Yeah.
Freak out in the corner.
Yeah, just throw the plates and abuse the waiter. No, I just, I just noticed that there's a bit of a difference, and it's not a difference that I like. I like feeling optimal. I like feeling the best that I can. I think that that our optimal nutrition is just meat and water. I think that that's biologically what we're set up for. But I don't begrudge anyone eating any way they want. It's just I just sort of tell people what I'm doing and why I'm doing that, and sort of what I'm basing that on, and let people make their own decisions. But I think that cutting out all the processed foods, cooking for yourself, cooking whole foods, and just not being afraid of meat, not being afraid of animal fats is makes a big difference in people's lives. And so even just focusing on meat. So like Furman said, make salad the focus. I would say make meat your focus, and don't be scared of the fat. And eat other things if you want, but like whole foods I think that's 80% of the problem right there. But after that, really, getting rid of alcohol, getting rid of carbohydrates, getting rid of sugar, I think those are probably the main things to get rid of. And then after that, if you're on like a keto diet, meat heavy, then you just start eliminating out the more bad stuff like nightshades, potatoes, tomatoes, eggplants, peppers. They're just a bit, more inflammatory, more toxic because of the solanine content in them. And also we don't prepare these things the same way. The original pasta sauces, they would take vine-ripened tomatoes, which makes a difference. There's studies showing that the toxins that are in green tomatoes, there's always thought like the folk wisdom was that green tomatoes were poisonous. They are. They're just maybe not will kill you poisonous, but they have more toxins in them, more solanine in them. And by vine ripening them, that the plant pulls out a lot of those toxins. Not all of them, but a lot more than if you just box ripen them. But what the people did originally hundreds of years ago was they take that vine ripened tomato, they blanch it in boiling water, they take the skin off, and then they take the seeds out. Those are the most toxic parts. Those are where the highest concentration of these chemicals are. And then they just use the rest of that to make pasta sauce. That's a very different thing than what we're seeing today. We're getting box-ripened tomatoes. We're using the skin and using the seeds as well, because people say, well, that's where all the nutrients are. That's where all the vitamins are. It's like, right, well, that's all the solanine is there too. And so this is why we used to peel potatoes, until now they said, oh, well, that's where all the nutrients are. It's just like, guys, there was a reason we did this for centuries, So I would say that, just sort of, you can do it in a stepwise progression like that. And then different plants have different toxins. There's a professor of botany from Cambridge who actually came up with a video in 2011. I just found this the last few months, just talking about all the different ways that plants defend themselves, saying that, look, this is 99% of the life on Earth are plants. This is the dominant life form on Earth. And they're under a constant assault by animals and insects. So they can't be defenseless. And he's going through all the defenses they have, a major one being all the toxins, saying that there was about 1 million known toxins in all the different plants around the world used to poison animals and insects to stop them from eating them. And so he was saying, he's like, okay, so what do we eat as humans? Or what are we supposed to eat? You know, if you want to eat real food and not get all these, you know, toxic chemicals, you know, and he just goes, he like swipes off, you know, a bunch of produce from the table and some plots of chicken in front of him. He's like, become a carnivore. And so, you know, so there are you know, around 1 million different toxins, but they're not all in one plant, right? They're all different toxins in different plants. And so what you can do is you just vary it. You know, you eat, I would say eat a low level of it, but you just eat different things. So if you have spinach one day, don't have it the next, you know, you just mix it up. And so if you mix up the different sorts of vegetables, if you want to include that in your diet, that's what I would do, is just sort of mix it up every day. Some people do better that way. They don't like, look, I can't get my head around just jumping straight into this, and that's fine. For me, that was very easy. It was like, plants are trying to kill me, right? Don't want anything to do with these stupid things and get rid of them. And that was fine for me. And then when I saw Dr. Baker's you know, podcast with Joe Rogan, I was basically just doing keto. I wasn't doing keto, but I wasn't eating carbohydrates. I was just eating whole foods, just meat, small amounts, lean meat. I was trying to slim down. I just got back from doing humanitarian work in Bangladesh, and so I was out of shape, and I was trying to get back into shape to play rugby. And so I was trying to do this thing. I was like, okay, well, I'll eat a bunch of plants, a bunch of spinach, kale, and broccoli, juice them up not juice it, but blend it up so it had all the fiber and things like that. It tasted just awful, you know, so bitter, it's so gross, which is what I think is a warning sign, right? You have these bitter tastes. That is your tongue and your brain, which are sophisticated machines, telling you, hey, there's something in here that's bad for you. Don't drink this. You know, it's just like a Mr. Yuck sticker. Blah, spit it out, you know? And this is just naturally telling you, don't eat this. And we ignore this because, oh, no, this is what we're supposed to eat. And so I was doing that. I was choking that stuff down and not enjoying it, not feeling great. And then I saw Baker, and then I was like, right, I knew it. I knew plants were trying to kill me, get rid of these stupid vegetables. And I just dropped them. And I started eating a lot more meat, and I stopped eating all the vegetables. And I lost 23 pounds in 10 days. And then I just started, my body composition just started transforming. I can show you pictures at some point, but I did not look like I do now. And I was working out daily then. Mm-hmm. You know, I haven't worked out in 3 months now. You know, it's because with my schedule, it's very
Except
difficult.
for today.
It was great to get back. And so that's the thing, you know, my body just dramatically changed. I was eating a lot more. I was eating a lot more calories too, because now I was not afraid of the fat. I was not afraid of the meat. I was eating as much fatty meat as I cared to. So I was eating ribeyes every day. So I was eating like 2-3 pounds of ribeye a day, like fatty ribeye. And I just ate until I was satiated. And that was it. And so my body just started transforming after that. I didn't lose weight after that. I lost that initial 23 pounds. I think a lot of that was going to be water weight as well. But I definitely, my shape changed as well. Mm-hmm. And then I remember after that, I was 243 pounds every single day for the next like 3 months. It didn't change a pound, but visibly I was absolutely transforming. And so, you know, it just made a massive, massive, massive difference for me. And so at that point I was just like, right, I'm just going to just dig in to the literature and just try to learn as much as I could.
Power Project family, we appreciate you checking out this clip. Check out another one. Just go check out another one. Or comment down below and let us know what you liked about this one. But we love you guys, and we're going to keep bringing you the heat. So comment, subscribe, and all that good stuff, okay? Peace.